Hey, it's Mila. Welcome back to my channel.
I go round, I go round and I go round and I go round.
So, as you can see, I'm holding a mic. I don't usually do this. Okay, I'm sorry if the angle changed. I did not clean out my old footage, so I ran out of filming space just in this intro of this video. Yeah, I make everything from lifestyle, bookish, college, sorority type content. So if that sounds fun, definitely hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and if you're excited to see more videos in 2024. So today we're gonna do the most exciting video of the year. All the books that I read in 2023. So I did not read as much as I had planned to because this fall semester has been absolutely horrid. Like horrid in any possible way that you think of horrid. So I kind of lacked there. But for the first part of the year, I read so much. And since I've been on winter break, I also read a lot. So kind of disappointed myself. I didn't reach my goal, but I still read a lot and I'm super, super proud of myself. I'm just gonna go through all of these books. I don't have a particular order or anything. I'm just gonna go based off of genre. That's how I organize them over here. I don't know my reading stats, so we're not gonna do that this year because I feel like this year was just getting the hang of making this more of a habit, you know. But next year we're gonna go full force. We're gonna reach the goal. We're gonna do reading tests. We're gonna do everything. And yeah, so let's just go for the books. I don't think I'm gonna give a description. I'm just gonna give my rating and then maybe why I liked it, why I didn't like it, because I also have a video talking about my favorite and my least favorite books in 2023. I think it came out a day before this one. I'm not really sure, but that one for sure I'm posting before this one. Or did I post it after? I don't know. I feel like I'll post it before. Yeah, I'll post it before, so you would have probably seen that before here. And this is just a big overview of everything. So yeah, let's go. Let's just go for it. I guess we can start with romance because that's the biggest genre. So let's go here. So first, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, 5 stars. I just loved everything about this book. So hard to do this when I have a mic in my hand, but Twisted Love, Anna Huang, and then Twisted Games, Anna Huang. Wow. Wow. If you have not read the Twisted series, 100% recommend. Twisted Love, I rated 4.25 stars. Twisted Games, 5 stars. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Happy Place, Emily Henry. You're probably gonna hate me, but I think it was overhyped. It was still good, a little bit overhyped. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I rated it 4 stars. All Your Perfects, Colleen Hoover. Once you put aside that it's Colleen Hoover, it's not that bad of a book. This is covered it kind of centered around a trope that I'm not a huge fan of. And I enjoyed it. I cried. It touched me on an emotional level, and I rated it 3.75 stars. Love to Love You, which is a bind up of Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. So Under One Roof and Stuck With You I rated 3.5 stars, and Below Zero I rated it 3.75 stars. They're little novellas, so giving it a 4-star felt a little bit weird, but they were really, really good. The Summer Job, Lizzie Denn's cute little summer romance. Kind of gave me the same vibes as Gabrielle from Emily in Paris, 3.5 stars. All Your Perfects. No. No. Love Another Words. Love Another Words by Christina Lauren. I don't see it as a 5-star book. It wasn't bad. It was good. I wouldn't say 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars. It was good. It was you read it fast, but just it was not 5-star energy. The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley, I want to say. Very light, easy summer read, and I rated it 3 stars. Love Theoretically, Ali Hazelwood. I brought this book to the lake. As you can see, she did not have fun at the lake. I rated this 4 stars. Jock Rowe, Serenade. No one talks about this series, but I really like it. I like how it's set up. And I think that it's it deserves more hype. It's not super, super sporty, much more romance, more college romance vibes. And I actually really, really liked it. I rated this 3.75 stars. Oh my god, this book. If you've been watching my past videos, you know that I did not like this book. I, with a passion, did not like this book. Darling Venom, 2 stars. Just no. No. Long shot, Kennedy Ryan. So everyone said like don't go into this expecting like a cute little romance. So I knew that going in. And this book, it wasn't enjoyable per se, but it was like it's something that I'm never gonna forget. You know, it's like an experience engraved in my head. I rated it 4 stars. It's a lot, but for the content that it described, it was good. When True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I went in expecting to absolutely love this because I love the premise and everything, but I feel like we didn't have enough time to fall in love with both guys. Like, it was still pretty good. I rated it 3.5 stars, but I feel like I had higher expectations than what was delivered. Throttled by Lauren Asher. If you read my end of the year book tag, this was my favorite cover of the year. It's so pretty. It's so cute. The story, it's so good. I feel like I kind of hyped it up too much for myself because I had really high expectations. I rated it 4 stars. I feel like, yeah, I just expected too much from it that I was like let down because I wanted to read this for like 2 years, but it was still really, really good. And I definitely recommend this book. No one talks about it, but oh my God. Especially like if you're in Greek life, please read this. It's so good. Rush Candy Steiner. It's a 7-book series. It feels like you're watching a movie. Like if you've watched the show Greek, that's the same vibe, but like more insane and like more like now, not early 2000s. Rated this, like I felt weird giving it more than a 4.25 star, given how short it was and like everything. This was so good. Definitely took me by surprise. And I cannot wait to read book 2. Summertime, Willow Aster. If you also watch my end of the year book tag, this book is very cringy. Like, go in expecting cringe, but good cringe, you know? Like, I started reading it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna hate it. The first 5 chapters, I was like, I'm actually gonna hate it. 5 chapters are like 10 pages, just so, like, you know? I was like, I'm actually gonna hate it. But when you learn to embrace the cringe, to love the cringe, it's cringy in the best way possible. It's like a guilty pleasure read. And like, it's just give it a chance. Give it a chance. I rated it 4 stars. 4 stars because it just hooked me. I loved it. Like, I'm not proud that I loved it, but I loved it. This book, I had such high expectations and I was so let down. Say You Swear, Megan Brandy. When they use a certain trope to cause issues with the story, no, it just stop it. Like, no, that makes me mad. Like, it actually made me mad. Honestly, if I wasn't doing the audiobook for the second part of this book, I would have DNF'd it because I was just like so mad at that trope. I feel like I had too high expectations. I rated this, I think, also at 2 stars because it had so much potential. But no, like 2 stars, meh. I finished this series this year and it makes me so sad because it's over, but I'm so happy that there's a new book about the kids and I cannot wait until I can get to read that. I just want to read more like on my shelf before getting into that. I don't have many like sports, especially hockey romances on my shelf, so I can like justify buying it. The Dare, Elle Kennedy. This series, like, it's always gonna have such like a soft spot in my heart. Can you see this? Probably, I don't know, but like, yeah, my shelf looks so empty because like literally all my books are like on my floor or like on my bed. My little collection of off campus, and where are you? My friend is actually borrowing the Deal. Yeah, The Deal. 4.5 stars. I'm so sad that the series is over, but I'm excited to see the spin-off series. I have 2 books from Carly Fortune. So Every Summer After, love this. This gave The Summer I Turned Pretty, but more mature and just better. I rated this, I think, 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this. Meet Me at the Lake. I went in knowing that people did not really like it, and I really tried. Like, I tried to put the whole trope aside and be like, okay, it's a book. Like, it's not believable, but it's a book. Like, get over it. I rated 3 star. Like, I don't know if it was 2 points. I think I rated 3 stars because there was some things that I did like about it, but other things I'm just like, no. Yeah, she has another book coming out this June. I forget what it's called. I'm still gonna give her a chance, but hopefully it's something more, not this, you know? Like, I love the cover. I absolutely love the cover, but it pains me to display this cover when I know that I did not like the book. You know? This book, no one talks about it, but it's so cute. I Hate You More by Lucy Gilmore. It has dogs. It has a grumpy bat. It's a grumpy sunshine. I just love everything about this book. You can just like catch yourself smiling. It's adorable. I rated it 4.25 stars. Super cute. Love it. Please go pick this up because no one talks about it. I read the 4th book in the Bound by Blood, I want to say, series. Bound by Temptation, Cora Riley. This is Liliana and Romero's book. I was so excited for this one. I feel like I overhyped it for myself a tiny bit too much. I rated it 3.75 stars. It was good, but I feel like I had too high of an expectation. I love this series. This is like a guilty pleasure series, you know? Like, I know it's not going to be over a 4.5 star, but it's like a little palate cleanser. It's fun to dive into. I realize that like when I talk like this versus like this, there's like a difference on the mic, so I'm so sorry if it's like super loud at some points and like not loud enough at other points. I read the 1st book of Zodiac Academy. I ate this up. It was so good. It was so good. I don't want to tell you anything about it because I went in knowing nothing. And I'm like, it's so good. I rated this 4.5 stars. I was like 4.75, 4.5, but I was like, keep it at 4.5 because I feel like the series will get better. So super high expectations for this. It's just so good. Ivy by Devney Perry, writing under Will and Ash. This was so good. Like, I definitely recommend this, but I feel like also it's a very, very slow. So you have to know that. It's more like character driven than plot driven. So if you get like, there's nothing really to suck you in, but me, it was just like, just the characters. I love the characters, and like, it's like 3 girls, each have their own like little storyline. And there was one of them, like one storyline that I loved so much more than the others, which I feel like that initially got me sucked in, but then I got obsessed with like all 3 of them. But so good. Definitely recommend. She is chunky. Writing is like kind of small, but if you like mixing Pretty Little Liars and Gossip Girl, and you don't mind like more, I'm sorry, I thought I saw like a massive spider. I got so scared I was about to scream. Yeah, if you like those mixed with more like character driven stories, definitely recommend. It was so good. The last romance book that I read this year, Cruel Prince by Ashley Jade. This exceeded my expectations. Like, I went in not expecting much from it, and I was like, this gives me solid 3-star energy. This was like a 4-star. This was so much better than I expected. I went in knowing nothing because I feel like, oh, my doorbell rang. I don't know if it's my Amazon or nothing. I don't know. Did I order something? I ordered myself an iPad. Did I order something? I don't know what I ordered. Exceeded my expectations. It was so good. This was talking about romance. Let's like do my little holiday romances. So we have Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I'm sorry if it was like glary in this. Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I was kind of like scared to go into this because I did not like window shopping, but this was actually so good. I rated it 3.5 stars. It was cheesy, but I really loved it. We have New Year's Kiss by Lee Matthews. This I read such a long time ago that I don't remember much, but I remember it's YA. And I went in knowing, okay, it's like a quick, cute read for like the 1st of January. And that's all it was. I didn't go in expecting like something amazing. And I feel like it was exactly what I needed. I rated it 3 stars. Not because it was bad, but just because I just wanted something with like a New Year's vibe. No book had that, but if you're looking for something to read on January 1st, this is definitely a good choice. Then we have Lindsay Kelk, The Christmas Wish. This is what I call bad cringe. The main character, I found her insufferable, like literally insufferable. It was the same vibe as In a Holidays by Christina Lauren with the whole Groundhog Day thing, but she just annoyed me so much. Like, I've never been so annoyed by a main character in my life. I rated this like, the message at the end was kind of cute. So I was like, I'm gonna give it 2 stars, like 1.75, 2 stars. Just, I did not like the main character, but I liked the message in the end and how she kind of tried to give everyone their wish in order to get out of the Groundhog Day situation. And she like learned stuff about herself while she was doing it, but she was very, very, very insufferable. Let's go to like literary fiction. I just realized I did not take a thumbnail and now I have a pile of books on my floor and I'm like, oh god. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This was so good. Like, I got so invested. I cried so many times. Like, the little twist, I kind of expected it. Not the same way that it was written, but I kind of expected that. It was so good. I rated it 5 stars. Looking back, I feel like I'm gonna keep this one 5 stars. And then Daisy Jones and the Six. Also, at the time of reading it, I rated it 5 stars. I feel like now I'll bring it down to 4.75 because it just didn't have that emotional pull on me as the Seven Husbands as of Evelyn Hugo. But this was so good. This was like my first time reading something in this format, and I fell in love with it. Like, it was so, so, so good. So if you have not read Taylor Jenkins Reid yet, like, if there's one book that I recommend, probably Daisy Jones over Evelyn Hugo, because I feel like it might be harder to get into, because for me it like was, but this one, please read it. It's so good. And then I haven't finished watching the show, but it has Sam Claflin in it, Mr. Finnick himself, and I'm super excited to get to finishing the show. I have Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau, I want to say. Yeah, this I picked it up because I think it was Sarah Caro. I don't know if it was Sarah, Haley, or Destiny, but I think two of them talked about it, and I was like, oh, like, let me pick it up. It was a fun read. Like, I feel like this is a beach read, but I feel like I didn't really get anything out of it. Didn't really bring me much. Like, it was just a read to read it, you know. So I rated it 2.75 stars because it wasn't bad. It was just like not something that I would typically read. This one, The Secret History, Donna's Heart. 5 star. I love everything about this. Like, I was reading this from October to literally like a week ago, because it's the type of book where it's like I want to understand. I do research on the side, then come back to this book. I look at like quotes and like little references that it makes to like ancient Greece and like the philosophy and like everything like that, and I'm like, how does that tie into the story? Because I want to understand these metaphors. I want to understand these foreshadowings. I want to understand these comparisons, like everything like that. So it took me so long to read it. I tapped the shit out of it. Like, I've never highlighted in my books or like underlined stuff in my books. I've never done that to my books, but I just fully absorbed The Secret History this year, and it was so good. It's so good. Let's go to fantasy, and then we have thrillers. We have Gemini, which is the second book in the Illuminate Files series. The first book, I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. It was such an underdog of 2022. This one, I don't know if it's because I got busy and I didn't have time to read, so I like paused for a long time halfway through, but it just didn't give me that energy. I rated it 3 stars. Like, it followed a different set of characters, so I'm kind of intrigued to see how the third book is going to be, because I know everyone said that the first one was the best. So I don't know, but I was kind of disappointed. Let me just do all of these at the same time. So I read War Storm, King's Cage, and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This entire series was so good. I think the lowest that I rated a book was King's Cage, which was like 4 stars, because I feel like that one kind of dragged. But I feel like Glass Sword, it was 4.25. Warstorm was also 4.25. This is such a good, strong, solid series. With, again, if you watch my end of the year book tag video, my like favorite line of the year actually comes from this series. If you read it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it's so good. Like, if you have not read it, I definitely recommend. Like, I was kind of scared going in because I think, when did this come out? I know it came out a long time ago. Warstorm was published in 2008, meaning that the first book came out in like 2013, 2014. So I was scared going in because I'm like, this is kind of old, and normally when series are old, I feel like it's always a hit or miss for me, but this was so good. Please, if you have not read it, I definitely recommend. It's so good. Like, honestly, one of my favorite like YA fantasy series like ever. One of my non-favorites fantasy books, The Shadows Between Us. I feel like I just blanked all this out of my head because it was so bad and I hated it so much. What is it about? Honestly, I could not tell you. Like, I have no idea what it's about. I despise this book. I also read, because I wanted to get ready for the show, I read Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, and this was fine. Like, I knew going in, okay, this is not gonna be like something amazing, but I feel like I read this mainly to watch the show. I have not read Six of Crows yet, and it's also like I know people said, okay, you don't have to read this to read Six of Crows, but I feel like since it's such like a complex world, I don't know what goes on in Six of Crows, but I like that I had an introduction to this world because I feel like that was my thing. It was such like a complicated world to get into that I feel like that is what kind of like didn't allow me to fully enjoy it. I don't know, that's like my thoughts. I think I rated all these books 3 stars. Honestly, nothing like super memorable, but I'm still happy that I read like a classic like YA fantasy book. And the last fantasy that I read this year were Dreams Ascend. This, whenever I talk about it, I always mention I randomly saw it on Book Outlet and I was like, let's go, like let's add it to my cart. This was so good. This was like 4.75 stars. The back gave me, I mean, the plots, like summary, whatever, gave me no information about this book at all. I just went in and I loved it. So I feel like you guys should do the same thing. So I'm not going to talk about it. I probably talked about it more during like a wrap up, but just know it's like fantasy, it's like magic. It's not like I hate you romance, enemy celebrities, but it's like I'm not your biggest fan. I don't like you, but you can tell all throughout the thing that there's like a little something. Romance is a subplot, but it's just done so perfectly and it's so good. I 100% recommend. Let's move on to our final category, which is thrillers. This is so out of order. Okay, let's go with this. So, The Lake by Natasha Preston. I did not like this book. I like how the ending was. That was not what I expected. This was like so much more like wham bam, like wow ending. So I feel like that ending gave it a 3 star, but if not, it would have definitely been like a 2.5 because I just no. I read The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I loved One of Us is Lying. One of Us is Next. I was like, not really. This book also not really. Like, I do like the little twist. Yes, I'm gonna say the twist. But I rated it 3 stars. Like, again, I feel like I rated it 3 only because of the twist. But just like, I don't know, not a huge fan. And Then You Are Gone by R.J. Jacobs. This took me by surprise. Like, I just knew this was like a little story about like, okay, the wife's husband like drowned, stuff like that. But there's like a whole other plot going on in the background. There's some like biological warfare that might be happening. And I was like, oh my god. I rated this, I think 3.25 stars. It was good, but it wasn't like wow, amazing. Like, it did exceed my expectations. But I feel like 3.25 is like a solid rating for this book. In the same series by Holly Jackson, we have Kildred, little novella. We have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Good Girl, Bad Blood. I love this series with a passion. Like, I wouldn't say it's 5 star, but it's a solid like 4.5 star series. I have not read the 3rd book yet. People's like, based off of what people say about the 3rd book, I have ideas of what happens. I really hope it's not true. But it's just like how they talk about it. I'm scared, but I'm super excited to get to that in 2024. We have Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This was a complete like wow moment. It was so good. I feel like I had higher expectations for it. I still rated 4.5 stars because it was so unlike everything that I read before. I feel like you should definitely read it at one point in your life. I don't know how the movie is. I never watched the movie. But this was actually really good. I read my first Alice Feeney book, Daisy Darker. I love the setting. I love the ambiance and everything. The twist at the end, one of them, I was like, oh my god, like jaw dropped, whatever. The second one, I was like, it makes sense. And I did have to pause to kind of like go back like through the book, see everything that I thought was kind of sus and see how that connects to that. So I do like how if you actually paying attention, you could kind of like guess that. But I did not like the resolution. Like, I rated it 4 stars because I did enjoy everything. I just feel like the resolution was kind of like, meh. not my favorite thing, but still like super, super good book. And I'm definitely going to read more Alice Feeney in 2024. I also started reading Riley Sager. So I have The House Across the Lake. Love this. 4 points. I don't know. I feel like 4.5 stars. So, so, so loved it. Loved everything about it. Oh my God, he's an amazing author. I also read Survive the Night. And I don't get why people like hate this book so much. Like it's not his best work, I want to say, but I still rated this like 3.75 stars. Like it's still really good given the scenario. I'm like, yes, the main character is not the brightest person out there, but she was like very self-aware, which I feel like based off how people were describing her, she was not self-aware. She's just like a complete idiot. And again, like she's not that smart, but she is self-aware and stuff like that. So I feel like still give it a try because it's really, really not as bad as people say it is. And lastly, I finished this like last night. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Wow. I don't want to say anything about this because I want you guys to go in knowing absolutely nothing. It kind of like reminded me of Gone Girl in the sense it's all I'm going to give you as like hints or like spoilers, whatever. Kind of reminded me of Gone Girl, which I was like really surprised. Just like the setting, super creepy, the twist. I absolutely loved it. It was, oh my God, it was so good. It was like she knows how to write to make you feel like creeped out and everything. So that's it. I think I have 55 bucks. Like once again, I didn't really have the time to do so much reading this year because I just had like so much going on in my life. But I'm definitely gonna make it more of a priority in 2024. I'm like already like fixing my schedule in a way that I can make time for this because I do really, really want to make time for this. Like I have pre-filmed basically all my videos for January so far. So I'm on top of my things. I'm gonna be coming out with a video, well, like one video every single week, at least until March. Like that's what I have planned. And I'm like really, really, as I said, like pre-filming everything to make sure, okay, you guys can get these like one videos. Then if I think of anything else, like at some point I can just like quickly do that and post it, but everything would be like basically ready to go by the time that school starts. So I hope that you enjoyed. Like definitely leave down below anything that you read this year that you think that I would enjoy, or if you have any recommendations for anyone else, like your favorite books, your least favorite books, or just, you know, if you want to talk about anything that I read because you read it also, definitely feel free to reach out. Also all my socials I link down below, my TikTok, Instagram, and Goodreads. I need to figure out how I want to do my thumbnail. Again, I have books like literally everywhere right now. But yeah, so this feels so weird. Like 2023 is already done. I'm like filming this video. I'm gonna be posting it tomorrow. It's just, it feels so weird. Like it feels like just yesterday or like 2 weeks ago I was like filming my everything I read in 2022 video. This feels weird, but yeah, so I guess like happy new year. I'll see you in 2024. And yeah, so stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye guys.